Hey, how's it going, runners? Coach Kyle here, and I got a message via DM on Instagram, and it was about coaching and this individual having some reservations about getting hold of me as a coach because she's had a bad coach in the past. And I wanted to address the questions via video here. So if you are having any reservations about working with a coach, you can learn more about how that works right now. And she said, I'm interested, although apprehensive, after my last and only experience with a personal running coach. How often do you talk with your athletes? My last experience was the initial phone conversation, then a week before my race with a few condescending comments on the app that was requested by the coach. Do you customize the plans to each individual runner's needs or use a generic computer program to plan? I have my Run Plan app by Runner's World, which is basically the same plan the last coach provided. So there's a few questions here. How often do I talk to my athletes? So all my clients, so every week, every 2 weeks, I update Final Surge, which is basically a Google Calendar for prescribing runs, rest days, strength work, etc. When an athlete logs a run, it goes straight into my inbox. So every morning, the first thing I do is scroll through my athlete updates from the last, 48, 24 hours, whatever, 12 hours. And that gives me just a quick view of what's going on. And normally, and I tell my athletes this, if you just upload an easy 5 miles in strides and you don't do anything, you don't give any extra explanation, I assume it was just a normal good run. Every Monday and Friday, I try to go in, and so in general, I don't actively go into my clients' calendars, except every Monday and Friday, I do check in to look back at the last week, the last few days. Wish them a good long run on the weekend. Check in on Monday, see how they're going. Every Friday, I send out a check in that's a text form with some questions, and I go through those on Mondays as well. This check in lets my clients schedule a video chat if they want, and they're free to do those whenever they wish. Some don't do them very often. Sometimes, like when things are going well, when we're 3 months out from a race, we might not have to do a video check-in. The text check-in is fine. But if we want to talk race strategy, travel, if there's a busy time coming up, then some video talking might be beneficial. So that's how that interaction works. And they're, of course, free to email, text whenever they want. Let's see, other questions. So the plan, there's not really a pre-written, the benefit of having a coach is that the plan follows you, not the other way around. So I usually update the schedule every 2 weeks in 2 week chunks. Sometimes I'll update like with some of my runners, it's almost day by day, and even if I update 2 or 3 weeks at a time, I'm still going in and editing it, on the fly. If they missed a Tuesday progression run, I might modify what they do on Thursday or over the weekend. With the polar vortex type stuff going on, I might edit workouts that have already been written for that. And there's not really a long-term pre-written plan that I follow, but like with my marathoners who are not running it just to finish, if they have actual goal times, then there are workouts I like these individuals to hit, but it's not a long pre-written plan, and it still goes, week by week, 2 weeks by 2 weeks. And with people who are doing a marathon, for example, that's just my example, who are running it just to finish, they're still like, okay, I like to have this long run progression. So in the spreadsheet that I have, that the client never sees, it's just an ugly spreadsheet. I might start at the goal race, and I might put in, okay, these would be great long runs to hit on the weekends, and these would be great Wednesday workouts to hit. But that's like a rough draft in my spreadsheet. The final surge gets updated every week or 2 weeks based on, it's kind of the the final draft, and then the submission is what they actually end up doing. So that's kind of how the communication works between myself and the clients, and how the plan is updated with the individuals. There's no pre-written plan. Like I said, the plan follows the runner, not the other way around. And that's one of the main benefits of having a coach, is that the plan is customized based around your life, your work, your education. I have some runners who literally put their work schedule into the training calendar, and I straight up build the training schedule around their work schedule. So that's part of my job as a coach, is to make sure the training fits your life. Because if it fits your life, you're more likely to do it. And if you're more likely to do it, you're more likely to have a successful, healthy running life. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And as always, you keep running, I'll keep coaching.